Alright, Title 7 Agricultural Subpart B Regulations Department Agricultural Chapter 4 Federal Crop Insurance Department Agricultural General Administrative Regulations. .404 Policyholder Responsibilities. Or the policy holder applicant with the crop insurance with the provider with the Social Security employee with the identification number of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation with the insurance with the provider with the eligible SSN with the employee with the identification Federal Crop Insurance Corporation issue insurance provided to determine the correct party with agreement with the contract, collect premium with the amount due with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation insurance provider to determine the amount of indemnities, establish accrual data individually policyholder based determine eligibility crop insurance participant in the United States with the Department of Agricultural Benefits policy with the applicant crop insurance that does not provided Social Security and employee identification number on the application of the forms SSI, EIN, Federal Crop Insurance Corporation, reinsured company shall reject application. Policyholder applicant required with the provider with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation, insurance provider with the name of the Social Security and EIN individual with the holding actuarial substantial benefit interested with the policyholder or applicant or having interest for the policy of the applicant, receive the separate benefit of the United States Department of Agriculture provide program direct result of such interest of the policy or the applicant and employee identification number of the policy individual person name so SSN policy or applicant must also provide. 404 or 405 agent loss adjuster responsible. The agent or loss adjuster shall provide his or her SSN with an individual provided with the applicable with the eligibility to participate with the crop insurance. The Social Security number will be used for the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. Insurance provided established database purpose of the identified agent loss adjuster with the individual evaluating agent loss adjuster determining the level of performance determine eligibility proper program participant collection any of the amount may be done with adjusted agent loss adjuster United States loss adjusters contracted Federal Corporation Insurance Corporation participate crop insurance program do not provide his or her SSN in forms of contracts. SSN is required loss of the adjuster contract cancel effective with the date of the refusal loss adjuster subject to suspension department in accordance with the suspension of the Department of Regulation United States Department of Agricultural agent loss adjuster the contract insurance provider with also provide for the insurance company to participate with the crop insurance program does not provide his or her SSN in forms contract with the SSN required premium subsidy payable the other administration operating expenses under the standard reinsurance agreement and any other reinsurance agreement that will pay with the policy lacked with the correct SSN. 404, 406 insurance provider responsibility. Insurance provider required to collect with the SSN employee identification number of the other applicant on each applicant or any other form of the Federal Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. 400, 407 restricted agents access of the manager and either officer of the employee with the Federal Corporation Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. Authorized person has to access SSN employee identification obtained pursuant to subpart only for the purpose of establishing and maintaining a system of records necessary to effective administrative action. 400, 408 standard storage record must maintain secure storage, provide proper safeguards sufficient to enforce the restrict access provision support. 400, 409 authorized disclosure. Anyone having the access to identify with the Social EIN provision with the 205C2C Social Security Act, Section 6109 Internal Revenue Code 1986 with the Privacy Act and all of the area confidential are not to be disclosed on unauthorized personnel. 400, 410 penalties authorized with the SSN employee identification number by any of the person may subject to the person soliciting unauthorized disclosure, civil and criminal sanctions imposed under federal statute, Title 26 U.S. Standard Code 7613, Title 5 U.S. Standard Code 552A, Title 42 United States Code 408. 400, 411 obtaining personal records policyholder agents loss adjuster with crop insurance programs review correct in their records provided with the Privacy Act records may be requested by mailing a signed written request at headquarters office of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation, Federal Crop Insurance Corporation, Regional Service Office with the insurance provider, make a personal visit to obtain above mentioned establishment showing valid information. 400, 412 record retention, Federal Crop Insurance Corporation insurance provider will records policyholder of the policy not less than 5 years of the date of the filing policy with the crop year. List for the maintenance specific records or request of Federal Crop Insurance Corporation final action insurance policies include include conclusion, insurance events with the latest termination policy, completion and losses, adjustment, sustainment claim, statute of limitation for Federal Crop Insurance Corporation contract claimants may litigation of the insured with a period of record retention, description, records prior to the expiration of the statute of limitation and provide with the defense of Federal Crop Insurance Corporation against a private insurance company. 404.13 Reserve. 400 Subpart R Administrative Remedies for the Non-Compliance. 404.51 General Federal Crop Insurance Corporation implemented the civil administrative of the remedy of the efforts of the ensure the program complying with the prevent fraud, waste, absorb abuse of federal crop insurance program. Such remedy would include civil fine with the disqualification of the authority 515H of the Act of the Government-wide Suspension Department Authority, Title 48, Part 9, 48 CFR Part 409, Title 2 CFR Part 180 and 417. Civil finance assessments are authority of the Program Fraud Civil Remedies Act. Provisions subpart apply all participants federal crop insurance program, included but not limited to producers, agent, loss adjustment approved with the accrued increase. Insurance provided by the employee contractors, while with any of the person provided by the information program participant may be the sub-elements implement the imposition of the one more administrative of the remedy with contained in this part, with any remedial act taken pursuant with subpart in addition to any other actions specifically provided by the applicable part crop with the insurance of the policy contract with the reinsurance agreements and with the applicable statutes and regulations. This rule is applicable to the violation only occurring on and after June 20th, 2009. Purpose of the remedial action authorized as subpart of the protection, publication, into the potential harm with the person abuse of the federal crop insurance program, maintaining program integrity, with the fostering policy confidence on the program. 404.52 Definition Act, same meaning with the Section 1 Common Crop Insurance Policy, basic provisions, affiliate, person affiliated with each of the, directly and indirectly, each of the other control has the power to control, with the third person control, with the power to control both, in DC of the control include, but not limited to interlocking management and ownership of the tenancy of the interest among the family members, share facility for the equipment, common use of the employees, business entity of the organized for all of the disqualification, suspension, debarment person which have the same management ownership of the primary principal employees of the disqualified, suspended with the department, ineligible, voluntary, excluded person. Agency, the person authorized to approve of the insurance to provide with the designated self with the crop insurance policy, the crop insurance, the agent has the same meaning determined Title 7 Part 407.1. Agricultural commodity having the same meaning determined Section 1 Common Crop Insurance Policy Basic Provision. Approved insurance provider have the same meaning as Term 7 CFR 407.1. Benefits of the advantage, preference, privilege, favorable consideration on a person receiving the with another person in exchange for certain acts of the consideration benefit may be monetary, non-monetary. FCIC has the same meaning with Title 7 CFR 407.1. Key employee, any person, primary manager, supervisor, or responsible who has the ability to directly actively making decisions regarding the crop insurance knows he has the reason to know what a person with respect to claim the statement, the actual knowledge of the claim, the statement, the false, physician, fraudulent act of deliberate ignorance, truth, falsely in claim or statement, act of reckless regard for the truth and falsity of the claim and statement, no proof, specific interest, specific intent is required. Managing general agent having the same meaning with the term 7 as 407.1. Material violation of the cause of the potential of the monetary loss of the crop insurance of the program, the diversity of the effect of the process, integrity included but not limited to part. Potential harm on the proper program's reputation, allowing person eligible to benefit but not authorized and entitled with the participant with the person who would obtain the benefit but only in part with the funds provided with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. Prove the insurance for the provided premium paid with the procedure participant included but not limited to the limited procedure. The producer's agent, loss adjuster, the agency, managing general agency, approve the financial insurance provided any person associated with approve the provider through the employment contract, agent, agreement person, individual, partnership, isolation, corporation, state trust, for the legal entity affiliate with the principal thereof, with the applicable state public subdivision agency of the state, persons not including the United States government or its agencies. Policy has the same in the term Section 1 Common Crop Insurance Policy Basic Provisions. Preponderance of the evidence, proof of information was compared with opposing evidence leads to the conclusion the facts is probably more true than not. Principal, a person with the office of the director, with the owner, partner with the key employee, with the other person, with the primary manager, with the supervisor, responsible with the federal crop insurance, with the activity, the person with critical influence or unsubstantial control over the federal crop insurance, with the activity, with the procedure Producer of the person in producing the agricultural commodity to show the insured crop of the other proceeds thereof, the means of the making and supply of the furniture with the terms include with the transmission information from one person to another person. For example, the producer who writes information on the form given to the agent, with the agent transmit the information with the insurance, with the provide with both instances of the information provided for the purpose of the truth with the reinsurance agent. As a means the term 7 Title 400 161, except for the seventh agreement of Federal Corporation Crop Insurance Corporation prove the insurance provider. Requirement of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation includes, but not limited to, formal communications such as regulation, policy, procedure, provision, reinstatement agreement, memorandum, bullet, handbook, manual, finding, directive, letter signed, issued person authorized by Federal Crop Insurance Corporation to purchase communication on the behalf of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation require that the participant group of the participation take specific action. If the chief of the decision to take specific action, emails will not be accepted for the formal communication, although maybe the chief of the transmit formal communication containing the remedy such for the communication in events of the violation. In terms of condition, consider the requirement of Federal Crop Insurance Corporation unless for the such for the violation, unless for the remedial action is appropriate. For example, the multiple violation, same provision, separate policy procedure for the multiple violation with a different provision with the same policy procedure. Violation each of the act of the remission by a person satisfied with all the required elements, imposition, disqualification, civil fine contained in 400-454. Willful intention will provide false and inaccurate information for the knowledge of the information falsely inaccurate for the time of the information for the file with the correct and incorrect information for the become of the normal of a person who made the commit the act of omission, the knowledge of the act of omission, funds requirement of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation at the time of the act of omission, no showing of the malicious intent of the necessary. 405 450 exhaustion ministry of the records, all the remedies of the containment of the hearing incorporated with the reference may be exhausted by the judicial review United States Court by itself unless review with the specifically required statute. 400-454 for disqualification civil fines. Before any disqualification, civil fine with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation will provide with the effect of the participation of the person opportunity of the hearing recorded in accordance with the Title 7 CFR Part 1, Subpart H. Proceed with the initiative with the manager of Federal Crop Insurance Corporation, file with the complaint with the hearing clerk with the United States Department of Agriculture. Disqualifying becomes effective on the date such for the other issue with the administrative law and judicial officer. Example, no date with specified with the order of the date with the order was issued for the respective statement of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation for the date contained with the same with the agreement. If the no details specified with the draft of the agreement, they execute with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. Disqualification civil penalty may be imposed for preponderance of the evidence showing with the participant over the other person meets with the same with the Title 400-454B with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation burning provided with the standard 400-454B have been met. Disqualification civil penalties may be the issue with regard to the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation and proof of the insurance provided with the suffered monetary loss. However, if there is no monetary loss, disqualification will only be imposed with the violation material in accordance with 400-454 disqualification with the civil fines for the imposed with the participant and the person for willfully intentionally provides any false and inaccurate Federal Crop Insurance Corporation proof of the insurance of the provider with the respect policy plan insurance of the author with the active and the through the active of the admission with the knowledge of false and inaccurate information will be provided. Fails to comply with the requirements of Federal Crop Insurance Corporation imposed with the disqualification civil penalty gravity of the violation may be considered with the determined whether the disqualifying participant other person around with the time participant other person disqualified whether imposed to a civil fine the amount of civil fine should be imposed with the gravity of violation considered the violation was material or if it was material number the frequency incident duration violation whether the pattern prior to history violation whether it was extended with a Pearson plan initiated carried out violation with the person except for the responsible for the violation reckoned with the series of the misconduct of the cover of the disqualification civil fine whether the person has paid for the civil and administrative liabilities of the violation whether the person has cooperated with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation terminating the extent of the considered cooperation. Federal Crop Insurance Corporation may be considered the corporation beginning with the person disclosed all pertinent information known with the person at the time. Whether the violation persuasive of the organization kind of the position which held involved with the violation, organization took up the problem with appropriate corrective action remedial measure, establishing ethics training and implementing programs of reoccurrency whether the principal of the organization was tolerated to defend offense for the person brought with a violation of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation timely manner. Whether the organization has effective standing for the contact internal control system placed in the time of violation. Whether the organization taken appropriate disciplinary action against the person responsible for the violation. Whether the organization has adequate time elimination violation lead to the cause of disqualification, civil fines, and other factors appropriate to circumstance for the particular case. days. Maximum term disqualification simplifies and imposed with the participant or the person accepted and providers for commit with multiple violations, same crop with the other several crop years, commit single violations, such violations, such for the overpayment of more than $100,000. Approved insurance provided with the commit a single violation with the overpayment exceeds excess of $100,000. Commit multiple accurate provision for the overpayment excess of $500,000. Participant who fails, who commits over the other acts or action commit admission theory of the nature of the imposition maximum is appropriate with respect to the important imputing of the conduct of the officer, of the director, of the shareholder, the partner, of the employee, with the individual associated organization violation 454B with the view of the organization when conducted according to the conviction, individual performs with the duty of the behalf of the organization, organizational knowledge, approve of the act, acquaintances of the organization, acceptance of the benefit of the derived of the violation, evidence, knowledge, approve of the acquaintances of the conduct of the organization violation 454B with the view of the individual, another individual whom properly conduct the imposed usually either participated known that has to be reason that such conduct with the conduct organization violation 454B with the impute with the organization conduct with the connection with a partnership with a joint venture with the improper conduct is imputed with the power of the managing control of the influence of the activity the organization responsible for the improper conduct acceptance of the benefit derived with the contact evidence knowledge approval of the acquaintance with in such conduct is imputed person with the conduct is imputed subject of the same of the disqualification of the civil fine person with the conduct with the impute with the fact of the 454 C2 with the taken into consideration respect. The conduct was imputed with the disqualification person with the person disqualified if the person produced and preclude with the receiver the monetary with the non-monetary with the benefit of the provider with the fault. The authorities success with the act of the Farm Security with the Rural Investment Act with any successor statute with the Agricultural Act of 1949 any successor statute Commodity Creator Corporation Charter Act, successor statute, Agricultural Adjustment Act of 1938, or any successor statute, Title 12, Food Security Act of 1985, or any successor statute, Consolidated Formal Rural Department Act, or successor state statute, and federal law to provide a system of the produce of the agricultural commodity with the crop of law with the claim of the price of the agricultural commodities. Spend the other terms of the other produce of the stuff of the participant will the preclude with the participant any of the way of the federal crop insurance for the receive the monetary with the non-monetary benefit and with the under the act. For the term disqualification minimum term is not less than 1 year for the effective date when the term of 454 A2 for the maximum term will be more than 5 years for the effective date determined 454 A2. Disqualification is to be imposed with only 1 year increments of the maximum 5 years. One of the disqualification of the final with the name and the address to identify the information participant with the person with the eligible tracking with the pension with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation according to Title 7 of the Part 400 subpart U. This information as long with the program as the person is disqualified shall be promptly reported with the General Service Administration listing the system awards manual according to Title 2 CFR 417. Participant responsibility, particularly with the ITS or the EPLS, determine those other participant has been disqualified. No participant conduct business disqualified program person for such business to regulate with the Federal Crop Insurance Program if through the business relation to disqualify the participant of the person derived with monetary, non-monetary benefit of the program administrative of the act of the participant of the person doing with the business of the disqualified participant and person such for the persistence over the disqualification under this section. Continuing making payment to disqualify the person fulfilling the pre-existing contractual statute obligation of the bill, business with the relation with the terminated with the time of the doing with the business disqualified person alone left the payment is due with the dominion of the command circumventing the disqualification process. Respective civil fines may be imposed each violation amounts of the civil shall not exceed the amount preceding Title 391B7. Civil fine over the debt with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. Civil fine with the imposed with the subpart with the agreement with the executive of the settlement agreement of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation must be paid specified the due date. Due date not specified the issue with the administrative law judge judicial as applicable to the payment agreement that shall be 30 days after the order was issued with the settlement agreement of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. Any civil fine imposed under in addition to the debt may be imposed to the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation proof that the insurance provider overpaid it to the enemy with the underpaid with the premium of the amounts of over the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation sole discretion may reduce the otherwise settlement and civil fines of the end of the section whatever considered appropriate best interest of the USDA with the eligibility proceeded with Title 7 Part 200 400 subpart U. Now applicable for the eligible determination made under section of the not payable civil fine. Civil fine may be imposed with the person not by the time of the payment but the total amount due for the person and purchase suspended federal crop insurance program. The amount due with the paid is full with the respective name of the person disqualified. Other eligible payment is civil in accordance with 454F. With respect to the producers, all existing insurance policy automatically terminated the next termination of the curve of the period of disqualification. Civil fine remains unpaid. No new policies in purchase with no current policy renewed between the day of the disqualification and the new applicant insurance cannot be made with the agricultural commodity with the next sales closing date of the period of the disqualification and the civil fine is paid. With respect to all the other persons, such person involved with the fall function related with the federal crop insurance with the disqualification and eligibility will include the scale, the strip of the adjustment with the data, with the transmission, strip with the reinsurance, with any of the crop insurance with the receive with any monetary or non-monetary benefit with the program, the ministry with the done with the active with the person, age of the insurer, with the age of the proceed, the may cancel with the policy, solve the service of the disqualify with the agent of the rewrite with the policy with another agent of the producer if it does not cancel, rewrite with the policy with the other agent, improve the insurance with the provider, the must assign with the policy with a different agent of the agent, serve with the during the period of the disqualification and eligible for the policy for the head and assigned with the end of the agent for the insurer with the provider with the retrovert. Just qualified agent of the period of disqualification and with the provider civil fine with the pay in full with the producer does not cancel with the rewrite with the different with the agent or agency. If the person is approved with the insurance provided with the non-sale with the sale with the new policy not new with the renew with the authorized renewal of the existing solid with the federal corporation insurance Corp insurance corporation during the period of disqualification or ineligibility nothing in the provision act effect for the approved insurance provider with responsibility with respect to the existing policy. Imposition, disqualification, simplifying intersection, in addition with the administrative legal relevant is available to section of the applicable law reading without limited to department suspension. 404-55 of the government wide with the department of suspension of the procurement of the transaction with the notification of the federal acquisition regulation of the federal corporation crop insurance corporation will proceed with the Title 48 CFR the Part 7 of the Part 94 and Title 48 CFR Part 409 when taking out with the suspend with the department provision with include with the transaction with the authority with the suspend with the department with the provision of the preserve of the management of the federal crop insurance corporation with the manager designee. Any person supposed to suspend with the department under provision Title 48 Part 9 to Part 94 with the Title 48 CFR 499 with not eligible to contract with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation Risk Management Agency will not be able to participate with the receive of the benefit with the program under the during of the period of eligibility include with the not limited to being employed with the contract with any with the approved the insurance with the provide with the sales with the service with the adjust with the policy with the officer with the authority with the act. Federal Crop Insurance Corporation may with the provision satisfied with the person employed with the system with the department base with the person with the solution agent with the insurer with the system with the department person with the involved with any of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation receive with any benefit of the program under the Act. 404-56 with the government-wide department suspension with the non-procurement of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation will pursue with the Title 2 CFR Part 180 and force up the team with the taking the action suspend with the department person involved with the non-procurement of the transaction. Any person suspend with the department with the under provision Title 4 CFR Part 180 force up the team will not be able to contract with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation Risk Management Agency will not be eligible to participate with the receiver of any with the benefit with the receiver of the acting with the during the period of ineligibility. This includes but not limited to being employed with the contracting any with the approved the insurer with the contract itself serve with the adjuster of the policy with either with the insurer with the reinsurer with the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. Federal Crop Insurance Corporation may be to waive with the provision satisfied with the approved with the insurer with the provider. Contractors have sufficient account with the taken into the power but depending on the person involved with any of the Federal Crop Insurance with the program will receive with any of the benefit of the program under the Act. The manager of the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation shall debar, suspend official all debarment suspension procedures Federal Crop Insurance Corporation under provision Title 2 for 184-17. 404-57 of the program, civil fraud, civil remedy with the section of the corner of the program, false civil fraud, civil remedy with the 1980 civil fraud, the civil penalty, something against the person who will make it a submitted with the personal call that be made with the submitted with the presenting false for the issue with the fraudulent claim with the written claim with the federal authority with the agent, proceed with the section of the corner of the subpart L with the proceed with the ability with the administrative of the hearing with the program fraud, civil remedies Act 1986. Director Appeal for the Litigation Staff of the Federal Corporation, Incorporation with the Director Design with the Authorized for the Agency Fraud Claims Officer for the purpose of implementing requirements of the section civil penalty for the assessment and impo with the pursuit of the service section with the addition with any of the remedy with the prescribed with the laws and impo with the under of the subpart. Alright, scheme of the device, the addition with the pencils with the units for the person with the knowledge, the depth of the material, the scheme of the device for the obtain the catastrophic risk protection with the other plane with the insurance cover, the non-insured, the interest and benefit for the person, and entitled to the have the value of the person of federal crop insurance with the actuated purpose of the evading provision of the Federal Crop Insurance Act. That person should be eligible to receive all the benefit applicable for the copy of the scheme of the device was adopted. The scheme of the device may be included but not limited to creating using another any of the concealment of the provision information from the respect of the interest of the policy over the debate, suspension of the development, disqualification, participation, improvement, and eligibility to delinquent. Debated Federal Crop Insurance Corporation Insurance Company 400, 449, 459, 400, 500. Reserve Subpart S, Reserve Subpart T, Federal Crop Insurance Reform Insurance Implementation Act. We can cut the tape there.